Taking your cat to get their nails trimmed can be a nightmare for some pet parents. The fight to get in the carrier, the claws desperate to get away, and the expense. Sometimes the drive to the vet office or the groomer can even take longer than the nail trim itself. After working in the vet field for 7 years, I have done my fair share of nail trims, and today I am here to show you how to do them safely at home. You want to get everything ready ahead of time, so grab a towel or a blanket to wrap your cat in, grab the nail trimmers, and the Quick Stop or styptic powder just in case. You'll choose what size nail trimmers you use based on the size of the pet and the angle of the nails. For example, if you have a tiny baby kitten or the nails are growing close to the paw pads, you'll choose the small clippers. If you have an adult pet or they have thick nails, the large clippers would be best. However, for cats, in most cases, you can get away with using any size clippers. You'll always want to remember to make it a positive experience. If your pet is anxious or nervous, don't push them too far. You can always work on desensitization, which would be practicing playing with their feet and nails to get them used to that touching, and practicing your restraint techniques. Also, leaving out the clippers where they can see them and get used to the sound and the sight is important as well. You can leave them out in a place where they can sniff them and see them without having to be tortured by them. And I have heard that cutting something like a wooden pencil can make a similar sound to a nail being cut. You can always do a nail a week until your cat is more comfortable with the process. The more you force them to do something that they don't like, the less likely they'll be to cooperate in the future, and it would only get worse from there. If your cat is food motivated, absolutely use snacks. Go for a high quality treat that maybe they don't get on a regular basis to make it more exciting. A lot of cats I find like meat flavored baby food, kitty squeeze up tubes, or whipped cream. If your cat is still very stressed or not motivated by much, you can always inquire with your vet about an oral sedative to help with anxiety for nail trims. My volunteer here, Mittens, utilizes gabapentin for almost every stressful event. Cats typically like to be higher up, so choosing to do them on a place like a bed, a couch, or a table can make them more comfortable, but some cats just like to have some place to hide. Whether you're trimming the nails by yourself or if you have help, a towel wrap is a very helpful method of restraint, which I will be demonstrating at the end of this video. You want to wrap your cat like a burrito. This will keep the claws tucked away, unable to retaliate, while also keeping the cat immobilized. Place the towel or blanket fully open on the surface that you'll be trimming the nails on, and then when you are ready, you can grab your cat and place them on the towel. You'll want the cat's head hanging out or tucked in if the cat prefers, but you'll want the kitty's claws just before the edge of the towel. Your kitty will be facing out of the horizontal part of the towel because you'll want the long parts free to be able to wrap your cat in. If you do have a helper, they can hold the burrito stable. If you do not have a helper, you can hold the burrito stable yourself. I find most easily tucked in between your legs, so they can't wiggle out of the restraint. Although the claws are tucked in, they do still have teeth, so be mindful of that. If you do have a helper, they can gently place a hand on the back of their neck or head, making a C to keep the cat's head ideally in place so they can't turn to bite you. When you're ready, which again I'll demonstrate at the end, once your kitty is wrapped up, you'll have to emerge your first paw from the towel. Back feet tend to be the easiest to get to, and cats usually don't mind these paws being touched as much as the front paws for some reason. A lot of cats have either clear or translucent nails where you can easily see the quick. The quick is the blood vessel which you don't want to cut. If you do cut this blood vessel, your cat will bleed and it can be painful. However, if you do cut too close to it, don't panic. That's what your Quick Stop is for. If you do cut too close to the quick and the nail is bleeding, just apply a little bit of this to the bottom of the nail until the bleeding stops. Okay. You can also apply a little bit of pressure to that as well. Especially if you're just learning, cut just a little bit of the nail off at a time until you're getting close to the quick, and then you'll stop right before. Some animals have longer quicks than others. If your pet has long quicks, if you keep up on routinely trimming their nails, the quicks should ideally start to recede. Every pet is different on how often they need their nails trimmed. So I always say just monitor them for a few weeks after the first nail trim or the last nail trim and see where they're at and how fast they're growing to determine when they'll be due for another one. Having a surface for your animal to wear their nails down can be helpful as well. So for cats, things like certain scratching posts, or for dogs, walking on the sidewalk. If you put gentle pressure on each toe pad for the cats, since their front nails do recede, if you put gentle pressure, the nail will pop out and then you'll be able to see to trim. So as mentioned before, I will demonstrate the towel wrap. So I have Mittens with her paws just below the front of the towel, while keeping an arm on her. Oh, she keeps, and we'll just wrap. It's okay if they go sideways. We'll just wrap a tight little burrito. We'll do the same thing the other side. And then to start with the back nails, oh, it's okay if they pop out as long as they're immobilized mostly. So I'll keep her tucked in between my legs, and I will find the back nail, and I'll choose the large clippers. Most of the time, you can see the quick, as I mentioned, the little pink part, which is hard for you guys to see. But I'm going just below that. And in most cases, it is the curve. You can trim just below where the curve is. And then for the front nails, since her one nail is already popping out, as mentioned, you'll press down to get the nail to not be receded. And that is it.